know, I still need to do a best friend route, because I've portrayed Miriam so many times already. Hello, hello! Welcome to Club Crescent! I'm your host, Crescent, and welcome back to I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking-good dating simulator. So when we last left off, we defeated the Spork monster, and Colonel Sanders tucked us into bed. How sweet! So without further ado, let's hop right back into it. You wake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or premonitions? And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in the front of the school. Before you can tell her about your encounter with the Spork monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might be, pregnant? I think I might like Pop. No, like him? Like? I know, it sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. Like him. Oh god, I should have partnered her up with Clank instead. We got to talking after class, and he's actually a little sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders enlisted in the army when he was only 3? Not only that, but he founded a special unit of super soldiers who all wear the same hats just because he put a hat on one at a time and thought it looked cool. But Colonel Sanders doesn't even wear a hat. He wears a ribbon tie. Either way, maybe it'd be for the best if you took it slow with the new boy. Like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in school, the most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning. You're a thing now? We definitely connected yesterday. Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you, I guess? Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Your bestie's eyes light up. Secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that. A secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering. This can't be good. He told me all about his passion for spices, secret spices. The man even gave some to me to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from super duper rare dried flower petals, and that if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. He was so nice, he even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with them, a very strange feeling came over me. The flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so we stayed in touch. You know, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices. I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe. And besides, I only know one ingredient. Please, please, please? It would mean the world to me. No one has to know it came from you or Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should you protect the Colonel's secret or share it with your bestie? Make up a fake ingredient. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name. I don't know, how about... It was Eye of Newt. I know, it sounds like some witch's potion, but what can you do? Eye of Newt? Wow. Her eyes light up imagining such a thing, and you figured that you satisfied her curiosity and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone that you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in. Cherry blossom petals fill the air. Oh, it's gonna be the Colonel! On a horse! It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school. God, I'm having Kermati High School flashbacks. I need to find the image of Freddie Mercury from Kermati High School riding in on the giant stallion. Stand back and admire his glory. Colonel Sanders' horse is truly a thing of beauty. Without ever acknowledging that he's being watched, he does a short horse stance before dismounting with a flourish. Then he slaps the beautiful creature gently on the rear, sending it running free into the countryside. He's got little tears in his eyes. You're so struck at the sight of him that you lose the ability to speak coherently. Oh, I didn't realize that anyone was watching. Don't worry, he knows his way home. You attempt to compliment Colonel Sanders, but the words don't come out exactly right. What a horseful beaut you have! I mean, what a horseful bout you have! Dang it, that's what I just said. Being a good friend, Miriam attempts to cover for you. Oh, Chrisette just gets really nervous around people they like. What? That isn't helping. I mean, they got food poisoning and were upset last night. It was gruesome. You should have seen it. She gives you an awkward wink and a smile as if to say, situation handled. Can't blame a girl for trying. With that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you see your... When you enter the classroom, you can see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. By the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, summoning a demon bad. You try and get a peek over Van Van's hulking shoulder, but he sees you coming. Whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? What are my choices here? Tell them to stop acting immature. Act like you're not interested in them, but really try and get a closer look. You immediately dress the rivals down for their immature behavior. Culinary school is to be respected. This kind of nonsense is a waste of everyone's time. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules? I'm not sure you'd know a good meal if it ate you. Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache. I don't know what that means. and it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. He says that with like this little like innocent smirk on his face. You finally get a look at what they're hiding and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the sport monster. That's the same book I found last night in the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom, and it contains our secrets. Oh, that needs to be a different R. You notice that they haven't just been studying the book. They've got Pop pinned to the wall, and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. We're playing! Before you can dig any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Beep, beep. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's beady foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Zwamp. Do you know who you're talking to? I've never heard such language. Not even from a stand mixer. Womp womp. No,
Your mother was a stand mixer.
Oh, things about to get serious. Ban Ban jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Ban Ban, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel. How should I do her voice for this part? Okay. Protect me, Colonel Sanders! These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know this is a ruse, right?
Gentlemen, get a hold of yourself. Save it for the arena at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on.
Maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just as Sprinkles arrives in to signal the true start of the class day, he's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog.
Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent this morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. Oh! But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn.
Rub his furry dog belly. He loves it. After he catches his breath, Sprinkle regains control of the classroom.
Without further ado, we'll receive the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken.
You want to pay attention to the lesson. Truly you do.
Which is why, in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was the chicken who first signed their name.
But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you.
Well, Cosette?
Naturally, this appears to you to be a sample platter.
What do we want to take? What item do you want to sample? A shimmering pepper.
A brightly colored pepper stands out from the other items. It sparkles in a most eye-catching way, so naturally that you reach out and grab it and eat it right away. However, your body was not prepared for the heat. The pepper has triggered an intense spice hallucination. It feels like forever as you trip through the universe.
My friend, ooh!
Oh no, how should he sound? My friend, ooh!
Yeah, he had that nerdy voice. This guy again!
I am here to give you an important message. Ooh. You must avenge my death and fulfill your destiny.
What's my destiny?
And all you must do is... I was saying, to fulfill your destiny, all you must do is...
Sorry, I think I've got some spice stuck in my throat.
It's fine, I'll work through.
Cough.
To fulfill, cough, the prophecy, you feel yourself to begin to regain consciousness.
Oh man.
Oh man. You come to and find everyone is staring at you. That pepper was the last of its kind on Earth, and now it's gone forever.
You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention.
We all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you someday. Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim, and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch
will be prepared via timed competition cook-off.
Oh shoot, no, I messed up Ashley's part. Demand they stop wasting everyone's time. Is everything a competition with you two?
Yes.
Yes? Well, not with me. I'm on a personal journey to learn to love. To learn to love. Sure, why not? But definitely not to constantly battle. Do you think I'm a freaking Pokemon trainer? Yeah, stop getting your genres crossed. Why don't you have some portable monsters to capture or something? Oh yeah, I just made that reference. I need to eat if I'm going to have the energy to sustain my education and pursue my dreams of being a master chef. And how are any of us supposed to get anywhere if we're constantly fending off challenges from every know-it-all with an apron? Besides, I already brought my own lunch. Chrisette, you should have it. It'll give you the energy you need to succeed. Aw, Miriam's the best. Miriam reaches out and presents to you a gift. Tiny food! My special grilled cheese and tomato soup with chocolate milk to wash it down and a tartlet for dessert. It's beautiful. It only takes about 5 seconds to eat Miriam's tiny food, but it's just what you needed for motivation. You know what? I've learned enough for today. Let's battle. Just as things reach a boiling point, Professor Sprinkles steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness.
Now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sporting court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief, even though we engaged in it. Not at least until we turned on the timer. What? Just then, a huge light flashed in your face, flashing the words, "Timer ready." Sprinkles. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
I stand corrected. If it's a battle you want, it's a battle you'll get. My bestie can best the best of them. Best believe it. Like a diamond, I am formed under pressure, and now's my chance to shine.
God, her thighs are thick. I remember reading the comments about how thick her thighs are, but Jesus Christ. And what's this cleaver she has? Seriously.
I will defeat you myself. You had us chicken,
and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day 1.
and now you're feeling like you could really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly.
What is the temperature that water boils at? 100 degrees Celsius. That's right. But how would you have gotten into this school without knowing? Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you. You're going to need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't know if Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. 11. That's right. You might not know all the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Tail wagging intensifies. Now you've got some basic steps going. It's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers the most flavor? Gratitude. That's right. You must take this opportunity for. You must never take this opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You'd better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and try and remember that place. Now would be a great time to harness that energy. So where does it come from? The small town where you were born. Oh! You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. What is the sound of success? Bubbling. That's wrong. Don't make me get the spray bottle. What? You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you, Chrisette. He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. All you can think about is Colonel Sanders. On a horse. How many spoonfuls of gravy would it take? What were you thinking? Get your mind back in the competition. What happened? You are now stranded on a desert island in one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk. I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. Sorry, I forgot the question. What does that have to do with crafting spectacular? I am really falling behind. Like, I didn't even get to read those answers in full. I'm actually, like, really kind of sweating over here. You're really struggling to keep up. Yeah, I know. At the next station over, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. It's time to make up and toss your biscuit dough in the stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps.
Yikes!
Bzzz.
I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch.
Whirr.
You might not have any hands, but Chrisette does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough to know if when it's properly mixed.
There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way.
When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand in the mixer to realize your dough before it's overmixed. Chrisette, no! You're not fast enough and your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning feeders. What the hell? There's no way for you to be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. What you will often find is that the easy way can turn out much more difficult. Everyone stop what you're doing right now. This battle is over. It can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Aw, that's too bad. And here I am with a completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me a winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two on account of Chrisette's injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he locks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared. Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Chrisette to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring this creamer of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within.
Oh my god, this is like some Zumbo's dessert level kind of stuff. Like, Jesus Christ.
Inside, you'll find a delicate fried rice. I can't read that. Topped with a slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gillet. I apparently don't know cooking language very well. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger into the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you! Alright. As he places a sauce-covered finger into his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of chocolate sauce is on his mustache. Internalize the rage you feel. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames causing your eyebrows to catch fire return to ash. They fall off of your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester. Perhaps forever. Sanders. the face, though. Embarrassed and ashamed of your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run for the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. You should get that checked out. Or we should get that checked out. Oh, we? I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I will never be a master chef.
Failure is a part of life. Not just for you, but for all of us. Do you ever think I failed at anything before? Do you think I've never failed at anything before?
That's exactly what I think.
Well, think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in culinary school, extremely handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure, I was born that way. But I've walked other paths, and arrived at dead ends.
The little tears in his eyes, oh man.
I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer.
I didn't know.
People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've just got it all together, which is true now, but it hasn't always been.
Sounds like this guy could really use a hug.
I resolved that when I was going to amount to something, no amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give.
As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion.
One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure, it's honest, it's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. A crisp white suit, you say? I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that'll bring joy to the entire world, especially Japan, and make up for my past misdeeds.
Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence.
Is it Pop? Oh, it's the Spork Monster! Gorko, the Spork Monster, is here to fight a hero. Is anyone else feeling a bit of deja vu?
I'm sorry, Gorko, but I could have sworn we already battled you last night.
That was Borko, my twin, and I, Gorko, am here to avenge them.
Okay. Are you stronger than Borko?
Well, we're twins, so no, not really. We're pretty much exactly equal in every way. Why do you ask?
Colonel Sanders smirks. He is already on the same page as you. It's just that we beat Borko pretty easily, so I don't think we have much of a chance. Not to mention, I feel really guilty about that. If I could take it back, I would.
I think what Chrisette is saying is, can't we just be friends? Life's too short for making enemies. I suppose. We really don't need to fight. It's just, I've got these pointy teeth and claws. All the better for enjoying tasty food. Surely like to eat, don't we all? Of course I do.
Inspiration strikes and you come up with a quick idea. Chomp on this! You toss a biscuit into Gorko's open mouth and he devours it in one gulp.
Delicious. You're much nicer than the evil students who once upon a time turned me into this creature who stands here today.
I don't believe it! You were once human?
Well, no, I was a Chihuahua? What? Like, is this supposed to be a Taco Bell reference? But I was still a student at the school, until one day some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was transformed forever. A magic spellbook, you say? Precisely. Borko used to have a copy, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg you, respect it. You're a powerful chef, and shouldn't rely on the dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear, I will be there.
It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Chrisette, together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway, and we can discuss. A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders.
Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, and never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef.
Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, but trying to find the right balance between flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish she might be describing. It's meant to be paired with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps. Now that you've got him right where you want him, you should reveal your new... Oh, should you reveal it or keep it a secret? Let's reveal it. I apologize if my voice acting... I call it voice acting, but amateurly giving each character a voice sounds a little weird tonight. I have like one nostril that is just not accessible due to just, allergies. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' Lux hideaway.
Magnificent!
Together, you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl.
Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire the taste later and think back on this moment.
You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not?
Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment.
You realize now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Okay. Around the room are various items that you can look at closer. Each seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about Colonel Sanders.
What is this candle? Scented candle. A scented candle. You pick it up to try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? A piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of 69? No. It's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's blank. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then, Ghost of the Student pops up. Aren't you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and the Ghost of the Student is swept out with a breeze. Tap on an item to discover more. The chicken? You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it's not just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders. Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when he was alive. A little note clipped onto the bird's feet reads, "True state bird of the great state of Kentucky." You take a closer look at this large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty. When you wipe it off, you read the description. Here lies the ashes of my past careers and business failures. Poor guy. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature suits hanging within. Take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit too big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks why you're wearing his jacket. Aww. I usually don't load those out, but I must say, it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket. But you forgot to take it off. You decide now is your big moment to make a big move. Tell him that you're cold. Mess up and tell him the truth. Let's fess up and tell him the truth. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. The thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Cosette? I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber dream sequence. Is our dead student gonna be there? Yeah, our deceased student was in our dreams again for some reason. You awake to a beautiful morning at Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how you respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you learned about. Blank. In some jurisdictions, blank isn't even legal. Is it weed? But if the recipe is secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gloriously plated breakfast, and your mouth begins to water at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say we're the perfect match? How presumptuous! My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Flatter him. You know, I think we might be a great team. A single tear begins to pull in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window and sees the dead student. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day. There's still one more day of school, after all. The University of Kirking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. When you get home, you find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now it turns out you're fine, and I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but... You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered up with Pop, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him, you better harness those wild horses, young man. I'm not that kind of girl.
But he was not just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure. I can totally get to know the little guy. Long story short, he took me to his favorite shush house. But things quickly spiraled out of control. Did you just say shush house as if that's a thing people say? What is that even referring to? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however, bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection, wowzers. Miriam tells you to move on from this whole Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on school. Okay, I guess that's my only choice. If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, then I don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from the difference that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious.
Oh, it's great. I'll order you one up right away.
I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat.
You can get your swirly dipped, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school.
And there is that horse. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school. But who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature?
You've got some nerve, Chrisette, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse.
And now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince in pain.
Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up.
I'll never give up, ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. Naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on.
Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Chrisette, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you're back in fighting form by this afternoon.
Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I was broken nail winning so hard.
Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive.
What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce?
It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received.
That's a lot of words to say it was bland.
Excuse me, Chrisette, I am more than capable enough to speak for myself.
Maybe you could tell me more about your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel.
I'm always interested in discussing the fine arts and fine foods.
See you inside.
See you inside, Chrisette.
Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel in that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa! That's that book! It looks like bad news! It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of Gilmore, but I really don't believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? I can think of a surefire way to find out. You open up a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could just use the spell here and it'll erase anyone I choose from all my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus on my upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else? Like anything else not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger?
Okay, fine, it is drastic. But desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Don't do it after all. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know, I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. What does that mean? His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. You reach into your backpack and grab some homework from last semester that you forgot to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles up the sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken rye hog. I apologize for the outburst. I know that seems cliche, but not much in this world satisfies like ungraded work. My, Crusette, were you studying something with cinnamon? I have been sitting in on a lecture series around the art of cake baking. How insightful. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Crusette, for reminding me to dole out the indispensable bits of wisdom. You see, before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills all over the class. But before he can get... Sprinkles is interrupted by sad whimpering from the back of the class. I told you to save it for after class. But I miss you. We went on one date, Pop. And how can you miss me when I'm right here? Pop's voice quivers as he pleads his case to Miriam. Every time I blink, you go away. That's a really cute thing to say. Miriam, what happened between you and Pop? I got her in trouble and now she's mad at me. I just didn't get into trouble. I got yelled at by Pop's mother, who blames me for him. Who blames me for getting him banned from every museum we set foot in. We've literally been on one date. Oh, that's what you meant by shush. Pop, we went on one date. We're over. And it really meant so much to me that I made this for you. Too hurt to go on arguing, Pop leaves this creation behind and runs out of the room. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam trademark. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay? I'm so mad I can smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is delicious. Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke. Even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. You, me, and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she feels hesitant to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off in the sunset without me? Of course not. Well,
maybe sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else you want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you met today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle on the first someone to show you a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make some very special soup. I bet that Professor Dog is going to love it. While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch. But that's okay, because you had a better idea on how to spend your time before your exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it. The location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off of Man-Man, the supposed Man-Man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of the recipe you've been working on, Croissette's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders.
What are you doing in here? There's still time before the final exam.
Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. Pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you.
Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were in here cooking something very delicious.
You'd usually be happy to share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get into your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. Mess up about your practice dish. Okay, you've got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing.
I know, my nose can smell the pot pie 400 yards.
That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell?
Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? No, I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of tender loving care. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out.
The moment of truth.
There we go. That's a beautiful KFC chicken pot pie.
Wow.
It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day.
There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules.
There are no rules, that is, except to cook with everything you've got. You stepped up for the cook-off of a lifetime.
You decide that mac and cheese plus pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll put you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Man-Man and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect, his original recipe fried chicken. The intensity of the room starts at a full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out their really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. This is like an episode of Food Wars. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air.
Egg brush. Miriam furiously injects ingredients into itty-bitty pot of broth.
Best friend, Master Blaster! Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin.
Let's rock and roll.
Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula.
Shallow personality, I love that.
Even Clank gets in on it.
5 dial pressure point chicken cooking technique.
Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English?
It's the singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen, or the Appliance Uprising will take us all.
Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's certainly evil magic?
Do it the hard way.
Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room.
I believe in you, Chrisette. Last time you said that, we broke our hand, though.
Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, Chrisette, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who is cooking? Tiny food? Short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient! However, she doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she actually get an Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before her very eyes.
It is I, Steve, the Spork Monster.
Oh, okay.
Steve, wait, what happened to Gorko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We Spork Monsters are many. I think Gorko had the day off. But you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff, and it's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of doing something. Do you mind?
He's so sad now. Steve, the Spork Monster, notices that you've got the grimoires stashed beneath your cooking station.
I see what you're up to. Crisscrossed some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh?
Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles into a pot of salted water?
I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was a little sport pup back in the old country.
You can feel the Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story.
You don't know where they came from, but it actually seems really lonely there.
Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch Understand. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in monster school that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up, you toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll talk to you later. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know what you can do to win. You know, we're gonna dig deep. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, and my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for...
Yes, Chrisette, you were the chosen one.
Yes, Chrisette. You are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You've interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been tearing their entire life with this moment. I will show the word, my cookery.
You begin to levitate off the ground, and energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything, except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up the chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Cosette. You may have suffered some setbacks, but not all is lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you manage to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What'll happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass the individual efforts. Are you suggesting, if we combine forces, we could form the perfect food union? Time's up, students. With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for. You now must prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop, clank. From off screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. I'm flying. It sounds like it's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the broom closet, you see Pop, hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess. Did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank in the school's history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks, clank. You wait to hear a single whirl, beep, or any other onomatopoeia, but there's none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now, describe your dish. I made tender udon noodles in a savory cup. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny, Narutomaki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please, call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like to taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself. And in the flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much. It was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a hug. Thank you, Cosette, for helping me to believe in myself. Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard and an axe-hewn urchin shell topped with a caviar. Wowee, it's impressive, actually. skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second? Different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is my kind of brand. Doesn't it look cool?
Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around.
Woof woof! Please be gentle with my cuisine. Arrgh.
Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Ouch! My tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keepeth poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected Ban does not go gentle into the night.
Disqualified? For glamour? Don't discount them. Oh god, I can't read whatever word. Oh, don't discount simplicity. This isn't the last you've heard of me. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkle graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yes, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps me calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley. It's time to step up. Now describe your dish.
I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass.
It's kind of beautiful. That actually doesn't sound too bad.
Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece.
Don't eat the food at a cooking school.
Got toast in your ears or something, Chrisette? I told you, it's a display piece.
Actually, I must say it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school.
Which is why I cooked it. I did an extremely good job at cooking it, too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you can smell it if you absolutely insist, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged.
You are disqualified. Okay.
Rage overtakes Ashley and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you! And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled and trying to be a fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me either.
If the class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together. Two chefs?
What began as a delicious bowl of mac and cheese has become something else. Is it like chicken mac? He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh. I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere else in the room, a little drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in the kitchen, this give me this thing. It completely blows me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. What? You pass, you pass, you pass, and you get a pass. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem transcended by reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnificent fragrance. Is Van crying? Yeah, and Ashley is too. Oh my goodness. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, They admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on. How could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is completed and everyone has graduated, the students return for one class assignment and to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, this humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog is in the house! You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghost allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to notice me. What? Then how come you only appeared to me in visions? And how did you get blown away then, literally, by that breeze? Oh, amusing. It's the Spork Monster. He's totally mellowed out. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here out, I prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster. Oh, hell yeah, I can get behind that. Students try to finish what they had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up in talking to Party Monster. Dejected student walks off. Oh, Miriam looks cute in this outfit. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found love in her cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop! He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat a crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it directly mailed to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, I get it now. And we get a new wing on the school. Not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor's such and such. Miriam? Miriam, will you be my lady king? What an incredible turn of events. An offer to join the royal family. It's a dream come true. You'll get to be a princess, or maybe a queen. I'm not even sure if he knows, but either way, crowns and gowns, baby. Sorry, Pop, but I'm not interested. Not now, at least. I've got so much to do with my life. A twist on a twist! It's so many more 3-day universities to attend. So many more tiny foods to meticulously sculpt, and then watch them accidentally blown away by a single sneeze. Okie dokie. Okay then. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I'm serious. What? Like, what though? Why? I actually feel like I knew it this whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives, as evidenced by the cherry blossom petals. Howdy, classmates. Oh, he looks good without the apron! Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it is not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time it's a full meal. With all the things that we've explored throughout the game, what do you know? I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. The end, with a question mark? What? Like, he just comes to the dance and is like, here's food, the end. No, it's not the end. Okay, whew, got me there for a second. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor.
Cosette, what are you doing sitting all alone?
Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance.
I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person?
On the top of my head, oh, I don't know. A spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, just to name a few.
It is truly my lucky day. Would you dance with me?
Yes, I would love to. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you.
And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off, and I'll be so glad to spend it together with you, Cosette.
How sweet! We'll be working together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks.
Work together? Well, I think this is something I just need to do by myself.
But who will help you run your restaurants?
I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at your school here, do you think running restaurants is the best path forward?
Why is he getting salty with me all of a sudden? Could it be you found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing with his other love life as an entrepreneur? I suppose I can roll at a pastry school.
Oh, my dear Cosette, I'm sure you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side.
The end. I guess I got to dance with the Colonel. I guess that was okay, but I wasn't expecting that sort of like slap across the face ending. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What made me not suitable for the Colonel himself, you know? That's really weird. But alrighty, everybody. That was my first playthrough of I Love You, Colonel Sanders. A finger-licking good dating simulator, except I didn't get the finger-licking good end. Sucks to suck, man. But until next time, you all have a lovely day. And thank you so much for watching my content. I'm really, excited to get more content out. I feel really just ready to put out more stuff on the channel like I did when I started almost a year ago, especially with October coming up. You know what that means, spooky, scary games. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. Bye!